think I see a few people from the job portal, but not from the meetup.
I mean, it's a long shot anyways, because that was in Bangalore.
Hmm.
And it was limited to a lot of audience only in Bangalore, just because it's hard to travel, of course. So, but yeah, awesome.
Yep, looks like we are.
Perfect. Cool. Awesome. So I think we'll just get started in another minute or so. I can still see a lot of people in the waiting room just getting connected. Meanwhile, if there are any questions, guys, just feel free to use the chat heavily. Just aggressively drop in your questions and we'll try to address them as we go through today's session as well. Yeah. All right, perfect. So we'll start at sharp 7, just to be respectful of everybody's time.
I think you meet 8.
Oh, sorry, my bad. 8. Yeah. Is this only Web 2 and Web 3 development related? So, Ray, this is definitely more focused at this moment towards building games, specifically in the Web 2 space, because at the end of the day, the ability to build games remains the same, whether it's Web 2 versus Web 3. The way you use different technologies to build games remains the same, right? Web3 just has an added component of how you think about, users having ownership of your game. So there's a lot of game design elements, and I know I'm going a little bit technical here on that question. So there's a lot of different game design related elements as well, that focus on what to do in Web3, different from Web2. That specific aspect is outside the scope of the Launchpad program, right? So I'll just in a minute just talk a little bit more specific about what Launchpad is and so on and so forth. So hopefully that will help answer this question as well. Yeah. Yes, every session will get recorded. You guys will have access to every session no matter what. So don't worry if you get dropped out or are not able to join in. For example, Madhav just said, I'm currently in office. I understand a lot of you guys do have, full-time jobs as well. So everything gets recorded. You guys will have access to everything. So do not worry about that. Yep. Awesome. Perfect. So I can see questions coming in, but I think we'll get started with first a few set of quick introductions. So welcome everyone. My name is Mike Grover. I'm the founder of Outscale. I've been in the gaming industry for the past 10 plus years now, overall in the tech industry for close to 12, 13 years now. Outscale is a community for game builders. And we like to think that we have builders who are both focused in building games in Web 2 the traditional way, and Web 3 sort of thinking about newer ways. We touched on Web 3 a little bit already. So at the end of the day, it's the core act of building games. That's what we want to encourage more people to take up and meet other like-minded people in the community as well, and help them potentially grow that as part of their career, whether it's for hobby, whether it's for passion, whether it's for side income, whether it's for a full-time career, whatever it may be. Bringing game development to be a more integral part of passionate folks like yourself, right? That's the core mission for Outscale. 10 years, 12 years back, when I was trying to transition into game development, I was already a software developer with the kick-ass company, D. Shaw. A lot of people know that name globally as well. One of the top recruiters from IITs and whatnot as well, right? So I had no idea, freaking no idea after I graduated from my bachelor's. I had no idea what game development was and got introduced to it quite late back in 2010 after my graduation. And I struggled a lot to try and get into game development. So Outscale, fast forward 10 years, Outscale was started as a core value for people like myself who today might struggle to figure out how they can make a transition in the game industry, right? Whether it is they want to become, whether they want to become developers, whether they want to become professionals, whether they want to become indie developers or, work at big companies, whichever the case may be, it doesn't matter. I can see some folks saying I'm lagging. Can somebody
Yep.
confirm? Is that the case?
The video is lagging, but the audio seems to be fine.
Got it. Yeah, so my apologies, guys. There's been a power outage in my neighborhood. So I'm using my hotspot temporarily. So I'll try to switch to a Wi-Fi as soon as I get some power. So just bear with me on that. In case the video starts to lag, sorry, the voice starts to lag, just let me know as well. Yeah. Manas, in that case, please feel free to take over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. So generally, across the board, Outscale team has been, in the game dev industry for a while, and feel free to, reach out and connect with us with whatever questions you might have. It does not matter. Generally, I think if you have a question regarding gaming industry, careers, etc., there would be something that we might be able to help you with, right? So the Discord community is there, which I think a lot of you guys are already a part of. So, feel free to use that at your, freedom as well to ask any questions. Perfect. So, Mas, you want to go to quickly give an introduction as well?
Yep. So, hi guys, I'm Manas. I also am a former student at Outscale. So, I studied over here in 2020. Before that, I used to work in like the gaming industry, but more on service-based projects, smaller indie games. I did the full stack game dev program, I guess, in March 2020, or sorry, June of 2020. Got my job offer in by November, and I worked on Temperament 2 for a year at Zanzatech as like the Unity developer. Post that, I was hired back at Outscale to run experiments and basically take care of everything that we want to try, and take care of the mentor sessions for Launchpad as well. So I'll be taking your mentor sessions for the next 2 weeks. So I'll be the point of contact. If there's any issues, problems, you can reach out to me at any time. You'll be seeing my face regularly over the next 2 weeks. So get used to seeing my face. Plus, feel free to ask me any questions you guys have. Also, don't call me sir. It's Manas.
Yeah, perfect. I think so. We have a little bit of a fun activity planned out. So I think Manas, we can directly jump into that, test out, how our members today know games essentially, right? We are here to learn building games, but then knowing games is also important. So Manas, take it away.
Yep. This is just to get an idea of what kind of people we have, why you are interested in game dev, etc. So I'll just have a few questions. You can drop the answers to them in chat. First one is like, which game got you into game development? Like, which game was the first time? Like, yeah, I want to do this. Which game was the one that basically excited you about this prospect as a career?
Somebody said Firewatch. It's
Nice.
fantastic game.
I think it's built on Unity as well, right? Firewatch.
Yes.
Yes.
Firewatch is marvelous. Half-Life, Flappy Birds.
Genshin. Oh, God of War, POP. Well, lots of Ubisoft guys. The good old Ubisoft.
Good old Ubisoft. Yeah. Project IJ,
Nice.
GTA. Yeah, awesome. A lot of diverse Portal to Assassin's Creed series. A lot of diverse answers I can see, not just the regular mainstream games as well, right? So, yeah, interesting.
Yep. So since it's like such a diverse audience, I wonder what platform do you guys play games on? Are you guys PC guys, console guys? Where did you actually start playing? PC. Mobile also counts, by the way. So you can drop in mobile as well.
Everything. I think everything. If you want to become a developer, everything is the perfect answer because
Yes.
you should have exposure to everything. Uh,
Nice. PC guys, I is it because you get games for free or is it because of Game Pass? Free. Nice. Nice. The time to start supporting devs, I guess. Cool,
yeah,
cool.
hopefully Vishwajit will able to change that.
Mumbai
Uh,
Gully's gameplay review. Again, there's always one who's like Mumbai Gully's gameplay. We're not working on Mumbai Gullies, but we are close partners with Nikhil and his team. So excited about what they are working on as well.
yeah.
Okay, last question. If you guys were to play only one game for the rest of your life, right? Which game would it be? FIFA, Hades, God, come on. Okay, a lot of FIFA.
Dota, Valorant.
I'm I like how it's mostly jungly rummy.
Wait, what? Wait. Sorry, somebody said Jungli Rummy. Okay, that's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody goes jungly rummy, but like I like how most of them are like multiplayer games or at least sandbox games, not linear games. So that's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Team- Okay, nice.
Just if I've personally worked on Teen Patti and Rummy games and Ludo games, etc. at some point in my career as well. So when somebody said Jungli Rummy, that's one of my previous companies. Neverwinter, interesting. Any multiplayer game, got it.
Okay, I'm mechanical looking for a job to different level, like in gaming. Okay. Yep. Nice to have you here, Biggie, as well. I'm hoping I pronounce your name right. But if I can you give please give three answers for your questions. Okay. You wanna go? Uh
Can
with-
can you give please? So just go one question at a time. So the first one was which game got you started, right?
yes.
I think for me Mario probably. What about you?
Mine is a very interesting thing. So I actually learned that there's a job called game developer when Ravan came out. You know the movie Ravan.
Yeah.
I used to play games a lot, but I'm like, oh, there is a job. People get paid to do this, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. But if I were to pick a game, then again, it would be The Last of Us that like excited me about how okay, creativity can be brought together with like gameplay and
Hmm.
stories can be told. So that would be it. Platform, I guess. I know what you play on, but for the audience.
For me, it's mostly everything. But I think for me, being a developer for 10 plus years in this industry, building games, launching large scale projects, I think the focus has shifted more from just playing for enjoying and most of the time playing to explore what is new out there and expanding my skill set and understanding of what are different things that different game companies are trying, what are new things that they're trying. So it's usually that curiosity that pushes me to try out different platforms. So yeah.
Okay, so I'm not that I'm not reached that level yet. I'm like I want to play just to have fun. So I play mostly on console. PlayStation is my go-to platform for now, but I play occasionally on my PC as well. Mobile, I tend not to play a lot on mobile for some reason, but I should probably start playing. I did win my college mini militia events tournament, so I'm very good at that game. But that's basically it again. And if you were to play one game, which one would it be for the rest of your life?
Okay, I think I'll pass. This one I'll pass. I don't think I can just pick one. It's just not possible. Just because as a developer, you have to continue playing to keep building and learning and so on and so forth. So yeah, too hard to pick. Can't do it.
Yeah. I would pick CSGO and mod everything I want in it. So if I want to make an open world game, I can do that as well.
Got it. Okay. Looks like some screen share got enabled. 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay. Outside of that, I nice to see that like there's a wide variety of audience. We can keep moving on. I'll just wanted to get an idea of how many people who are there who are already on our Discord community. So I'll just share a poll. You guys should be seeing it on your phones right now. And just put in the answers. What have you joined our Discord already? Like it should pop up on your screen now. Respond. We'll keep the poll live for like 1 to 2 minutes, so we have an idea. Okay.
Okay, cool. So I think Discord is going to be an integral part of the community. So just, like that's why we just want to understand how many people are already on there versus others who might have not yet joined private channel where a lot of the Launchpad Clan 5 discussions will happen. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So I think going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Perfect. So it looks like 88% of you guys are already on Launchpad, are already on Discord and have taken the Launchpad role. That's perfect to see. For I'll just share the instructions in a little bit in terms of one, how you can join, and others, how you can take the role as well. Yeah. Perfect. So awesome. So now let's get on to some actual game building part. Now we have some understanding of who we are, what we have in our audience today, kind of folks that we have, what kind of games they're passionate about and all, right? So what is Launchpad? Essentially, Launchpad is a program that was built to give a lot of people who are curious about exploring game development, but never had a way to get started, right? Um, so initially, the thought process was that we want to have something small that people can try out very quickly and very quickly understand what game development really means by building a project, right? Hypothetically, people have an understanding of what games are, what building games might be like, but they have a very distorted view of the reality, right? So building games is very much an art and a science, both. It's a mix of both, right? It's not just the pretty things and making it look beautiful, but there's hardcore engineering that goes into building games as well, right? So as a result, what we want to make sure is that people understand this, are able to explore it, and quickly understand whether this is a good thing for them or not, whether this is something that they want to continue with or not, right? So over time, Launchpad, so we are doing Launchpad fifth cohort this time. And over time, the use cases expanded. A lot of people who were already experienced as well wanted to try out something new, learn advanced concepts as well, right? So currently, Launchpad will give you exposure no matter what, whether you are just starting off with your first programming language, or you have built some small projects like Flappy Bird from YouTube, or you are already a professional developer with, say, 2-3 years of experience in the industry, whether it's doing general software, right? Say you're doing Android development, full stack web development, whatever the case may be, right? Or you might have done some Unity, Unreal professional development as well, right? In either case, right, there is something for you to try out and take your skills to the next level in terms of building games and learning how to build professional games, right? So we'll talk about how all of these different kind of people can go through Launchpad at the same time in just a minute. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. At the end of the day, a lot of people come and ask us, like, how is Launchpad different from existing platforms like YouTube and Udemy or Coursera and all, right? So first of all, this is a cohort-based program. You'll get to work with your cohort members pretty much on a daily basis, interact with them, understand where they're coming from, get some feedback from them, share your games and experiences with them versus just, absorbing YouTube videos one after the other, right? So that will be the core focus here as part of this cohort, and the cohort will run for a finite duration, only 14 days, right? So 2 weeks in total. Next Saturday will be our last session, and that way that you have to produce and finish your game projects within this time. If you want to continue working on your game projects after this, that's okay, you can continue doing that as well, but then the rest of the cohort will also move on, right? The Discord community is another big differentiator between what people and how people learn on Udemy. Discord, as you might have seen, a lot of you guys voted yes, you are part of the Discord community. You would have already seen there's a lot of discussions happening from other clan members, from the full stack game development program. There are different clan members who are asking doubts, and other members from different clans are answering those things, etc. So Discord is going to be your active place where you continue to interact with other people, and sort of figure out your doubts and queries and discuss ideas and come up with new things and so on and so forth, right? So all of this is what really makes Launchpad unique. And essentially, a Launchpad at the end of the day was something that I wish existed back in 2009, 2010, when I was trying to figure out that, do I want to get into game development, what game development is really about, and not by just talking about it, right? By actually building something really cool, right? And that was the idea behind Launchpad. So hopefully that makes sense. If there are any questions, just feel free to throw them in the chat. Manas, is there any question that I missed in the chat?
There's one. Is there a future in game dev in India? Are the jobs paying enough, and are the jobs available sufficient so that there is job security?
Got it. Good question. We will discuss this in the open Q&A towards the end because the answer is slightly longer. Uh, in a nutshell, I can tell you yes, but just stick around for the slightly longer detailed answer because just a yes or a no feels like a cheap answer, right? So we'll talk about this in more details towards the end. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. So hopefully this gives you a little bit overview about what Launchpad really is, right? Now Manas can give you guys a little bit an overview about how will we go about Launchpad and how will you guys get access to a lot of the information, the resources, the live mentor sessions and all that. So yeah, Manas.
Yep. So, guys, I'm dropping a link first of all in the chat. That link is basically what you will be referring to throughout the program. That link is your go-to for anything that you might need throughout the course of this program. If you guys click on the link, let me just screen share. You should be able to see this page. So this is the home page for Launchpad 5. All of the information that you need to go through Launchpad is provided at one place. If there's any doubts, anything that you basically don't know where to find, it's probably going to be there on the master page. You can find everything from like your mentor sessions to your recordings, to your track submissions, your course material, etc. All of it will be here. I'll just go through each one of them individually. For now, let's just begin with the general instructions. Forget what I'm discussing, you can rewatch the video over here to get an idea, but I'll just go through everything real quick, give you an overview. So we'll be meeting every day from 8 to 9 for the mentor sessions. These mentor sessions I'll be the one taking. So there'll be mentor sessions. If we can bring in external founders, industry speakers, we'll try to bring in those as well and host a session with them. So every day from 8 to 9, Monday to Saturday is when the sessions will be happening. Sundays will be off, and all your will be solved in the mentor sessions. Plus, we'll be discussing one new topic every day. And these mentor sessions are more meant to basically expand your knowledge beyond the study material that's given. So we'll be tackling different program problems with each mentor session. And like we discussed earlier, the Discord community is going to play an integral part in how you go about Launchpad. So the Discord community will be your go-to channel of communication going forward. WhatsApp is there, but the Discord community is where you'll see most events getting marketed and more people coming in, and full stack guys, for example, how full stack game dev works, how other people in the community will be helping you. All of that you'll be getting through our Discord only. Plus, once you join Discord, like here are the instructions that you need to follow in order to get access to the Launchpad Clan 5 role. So you'll see that inside choose role, there's a message. You're supposed to react simply with on the rocket, and you'll be directly given access to a channel called Launchpad 5. Going forward, all the announcements that I'll be making will be shared over on Discord itself. And outside of that, outside of the announcement thing, you can also ask your doubts. Say you have a question at say 11 p.m. in the night or 12 a.m. in the night. There might not be someone from the team there to assist you, but from the community there is a lot of people who will be there to help you solve your doubts. So different doubts have different channels. So if you have any doubts regarding how the tracks or how the study material works, you can simply ask that in help admissions. If you get stuck while coding, or if you're not able to understand how certain thing needs to be done in C++, for example, you can ask that in the C++ C# channels. If you have any doubts related to game development, you can simply ask those doubts in the Unity fundamentals and advanced channels, and you can tag relevant roles for those particular doubts, and the people in the community who have taken those roles will be helping you out over there. That's basically the simple overview of how things will structure. If there's any doubts on this so far, feel free to drop them, and I can help you guys out right now. So is there any questions on this so far?
Mm, I don't think so on this specific topic. There are a few questions that I tried answering. In case we might miss any questions, just feel free to repeat it in the chat. Sometimes the chat just runs way too fast. So um, yeah, she's asking, I just wanted to know that it's uh, fork scratch, I'm guessing, because I don't know anything about coding. Yeah, so from scratch. Okay, yeah, got it. Yes, Yash, you can start from scratch. You don't need any prior coding experience to start with Launchpad. Yeah.
Yep. I'm dropping the link again just so that it doesn't get lost in chat. I'll share the link over on the WhatsApp groups as well. So you guys can keep tab on that. Cool.
Perfect.
Now,
Uh,
yep.
Pauline is asking, are both C++ and C# required for game development? So Pauline, from an industry perspective, they're both actively used. C# is used actively because of the Unity game engine. C++ is used actively because of a lot of companies using C++ as their core choice of language in their custom game engines, or if you look at Unreal Game Engine, which is the second most popular sort of engine in the industry by the number of companies that are working on it. So C++ and C# are two active choices, but probably the most popular choices in the industry. Yeah. Okay. Good. I think Manas, we can go live with the second question.
Yep. So this is just to get an idea of how many of you have already started something in game dev. So should be a new poll on your screens. The question is basically what's your past game dev experience and whether you have built any games in the past or not. This info basically just helps us understand like what kind of audience we're dealing with, how passionate you guys are about game dev as well. Okay, lots of response pouring in. I'll be closing this in the next 10 to 15 seconds or so.
Yeah, fairly straightforward, just to understand how current folks that are in the conversation today are structured to build game projects. Have they worked on it extensively or not, right? Okay, so we're closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Somebody's asking that by choosing track 1, will I be eligible for the full stack program? Yes, Dave, you will be eligible for full stack program irrespective of which track you choose. We'll cover this in more detail in Q&A as well. But essentially, for those who might be interested in joining the full stack game development program, you just need to make sure that you complete any one track. Without completing any one track, you will not be eligible for full stack no matter what. So make sure that you do complete one track. Okay. So it looks like a lot of folks have built one or more games in the past from the audience. That's pretty awesome and cool to see. For folks who have answered this question that I have built one or more games in the past, can you just drop in the chat what kind of game projects? Curious to learn what kind of game projects you guys have worked on, right? And for others who have said that I don't know anything about coding, or I know a little bit about coding but haven't yet built games yet, don't worry, there is relevant information in the Launchpad itself that will help you get started with specifically coding in games as well. Yeah. Perfect. 2D platformer for high casual. Okay. Mr. Blocks recently. Okay, awesome. Good. So
Okay. I'm guessing most of them are YouTube.
Yeah, correct.
Mm,
Maybe some Udemy courses, projects like that. I'm guessing majority folks are familiar with those resources to get started with building games.
oh, this one is interesting. Remake of Dangerous Dave, which was made in 1992. I made it for Android as well.
Nice. Cool. Awesome. I'll scan through the channel. But yeah, for now, let's, Manas, you want to continue?
Yep. So going forward, since now we understand what kind of experience you guys hold, just wanted to give you a quick overview of what the different tracks are. So you'll see that on the home page, there's 3 tracks. All 3 tracks are for different experience levels. Track 1 is for beginners, for people who don't have any experience in game dev or in any programming language per se. So you'll simply be starting with C++, creating a Letho text adventure game and understanding the basics of how programming works, right? So if you go inside here, you'll see that inside track one, you'll basically be covering the uh, base concepts of the C++ programming language and using those concepts in order to build your own text adventure game. So once you get familiar with track one, as for example, even if you don't have any experience with programming languages and you finish track one, for example, you can then continue over to track two. If you have experience with any coding language but don't have experience with Unity, you can directly jump to track two, and track 2 basically covers a basic Mr. Blocks game, hyper casual game that you can understand how to create using Unity. It helps if you have like good grasp over a programming language if you want to do track 2, but this simply track 2 exists to get you familiar with the Unity game engine and how Unity works internally. So in track 2, you'll be creating probably your first game if you've never created a proper game before. So you'll be creating your own have Mr. Block game. Feel free to like expand on it, make new mods of it, etc. Once you actually finish the game. Track 3 is for people who are already familiar with Unity. They might like, we saw a lot of people who have made like some sort of games using Unity, hyper casual platformer games in the past. So track 3 is the advanced track for people who are familiar with Unity as a game engine already and have a good grasp over programming. So over here, you'll be covering something called as a MVC design pattern. So design patterns exist in order to help you organize and write scalable code. So you'll be focusing on the MVC design pattern over here and understanding how and where you need to implement it in order to write kick-ass code going forward as well, right? And basically understand why design patterns are needed in the first place and how you go about implementing them. So these are going to be the three tracks. Now, one thing you need to keep in mind is that you don't have to be restricted to one track. So, for example, if you start with track one, right, you can go to track two after completing track one. Same thing, you can go to track three after you complete track two, for example. Uh, Doing all three in one go is difficult, but we've seen people who've done it in the past as well. But that's basically how the tracks are going to work. uh, uh, these tracks will be provided to you, like if you don't know which track you belong to, we do have some recommendations that we've set up for you. So inside here you'll see that get your track recommendation page. You can again refer to the video in case you have any doubts. So you'll see that this is basically the criteria on how you can decide which track you belong to. If you are still confused, we have curated these tracks for you internally based on the answers that you gave in the scholarship form, right? So you can find your name over here and understand which track you belong to. Mind you, these are just recommendations from our end. These are not hard and fast rules. So you can simply find your name over here in the list by going Control F. And for example, let's do Akash, like I can see. So I can see that Akash Sabu, for example, has, if I'm Akash Sabu, track 2 is what I'm recommended to start off with. So these track recommendations are simply recommendations. Again, like I said, if you have been recommended to start with track 2, but you want to start with track 1, you can. These are just recommendations, basic guidelines. These are not hard and fast rules. So you can start off with anything you want. Just make sure you complete that track if you started off. And the basic eligibility to get into the full stack program, like Mayank said, is that you need to complete at least one track in order to be eligible for our full stack program. So these tracks are basically how you'll be doing outside of the mentor sessions. And in case there's any doubts on the study material that's shared with you, you can share that info with or sorry, bring those doubts over into the mentor sessions and we can help you out over there as well.
Yeah, perfect. I think Ankita just checked the link that was just shared, and inside that you can see the track recommendation page. you'll be able to find that here. Yeah. Tarun is asking, we should be completing any track in 15 days, right? Yes, correct. So you check the track recommendation. If you want to follow the track recommendation, great. If you don't want to follow and you still feel like you're maybe an advanced programmer, just that our recommendation suggested you a beginner track, feel free to jump into the advanced one. Just our genuine advice here is that make sure that you stick with the track that you start. In that case, you are able to at least see a project as an outcome. Otherwise, what ends up happening, and this is a very common mistake that I've seen a lot of developers getting started do, is that essentially they start with one track, then jump into another track, and then jump into another track, and then 15 days are over, and then you don't have any project to show as your work, right? So make sure that whichever track you're starting with, in the first 2 days, try to explore the different tracks if you want. But then after that, just stick with one and make sure you're able to complete it so that you can be proud of the fact that you've built some games, right? Whether it's advanced level games or a very basic game, depending on your skill level, doesn't matter, right? What's more important is building your game out and pushing it out to the world and letting the world know that you've built something awesome, right? Aaron is asking, is this paid one or the course paid? The Airtable is free. This is completely free. Aaron, you don't have to worry about paying anything. Launchpad is our way of giving back to the community, bringing more people into the community to understand what game development is all about, and helping them explore whether this is the right career path for them for the long run or not, right? So you don't have to worry about any fees or anything here. Launchpad is completely free. What after track completion? Good question. So typically what we have seen is that people, let's say, who have built, a lot of people answered that they have built some game projects in the past, right? So track 2 is the perfect fit for them to start understanding how to build clean looking games. And when I mean clean, I mean code wise clean, architecture wise clean, building good games and quality games that can go on to building more professional quality games, right? So start with track 2. If you're able to complete track 2, if you have some experience in Unity itself, you'll probably be able to complete track 2 within 4 or 5 days. So you still have a week or so more to complete another track if you want. And in that case, I would highly encourage you to jump into the advanced track, because advanced track is where things get really exciting. This is where you'll find a lot of information regarding professionally how games are built, which I can almost guarantee that you'll not find this kind of relevant information on YouTube and other resources as well. Just because YouTube pays creators well to start building fun small games, but not to get people to be ready to get jobs in the industry, right? So that's why a lot of this useful resources is hard to find in other places. So for everybody, I'll highly encourage you to complete your tracks and sequentially move to the next track. And this is what will happen actually. So if you have completed all the assignments from track 2 and you're eligible to start working on track 3, you'll automatically get an email confirmation saying, hey, congratulations on completing track 2. Here is your link to get started with track 3, which is the advanced track, right? So you can, if you have time, I would highly encourage you to jump into track 3 after that. Okay.
Yep. I just wanted to share one thing that I wanted to bring your attention to. So over here, I think I did not cover how you can actually progress in the program as well, right? So how this works internally is that the tracks have been divided into chapters, and with each chapter there'll be some study material and some submissions that you need to do. You complete all the study material and the submissions for one chapter, you can simply move on to the next one. The link to the next chapter will be shared to you over your email. So you'll be filling the form, and once you submit all the study material and assignments for that particular chapter, you'll be getting the link to the next chapter inside your email. So that's basically how the entire unlocking is going to work once you get started with the study material. If you want to track what submissions you've done, there are links to all of those over here as well. So if I were to, for example, check my assignment submissions, I can simply check them with my name over here. So you'll see that with every name, there's some assignment submissions attached with them. So there should be some assignment submissions next to your name, and maybe you want to check what assignments you need to do, what assignments you've already done. All of the links for those as well will be provided over here. And you can follow these links in order to get an idea of what submissions you've done so far and what you need to do. So like I said, everything is there on the home page from beginning to end. So that is what you'll be referring to going forward as well. Cool. If there's any questions.
Oh, sorry, I was speaking on mute, my bad. How long are these tracks available? Tracks are available pretty much infinite, so do not worry about that. You will have access to all the information even after Launchpad is over. So there's no concern in terms of that your access will be revoked or anything, right? Just focus on building kick-ass games. That's the objective at the end of the day. Yeah. Okay. I think the chat scrolled fast. I think I missed a couple of questions.
Now, I would like to ask what will we have in the mentor sessions? Okay, interesting. Okay, I'll cover that in a bit.
Yeah.
And I'll cover that in a bit in detail. So
Uh,
after completing all the tracks, we need to build a project that you're referring as project. You can, I would highly encourage you to, like, if you complete all the tracks, feel free to make something of your own, because that is basically how you'll be learning the most. Simply following the video material and doing it is one thing, but actually creating something of your own is where the actual learning is going to happen. So I would highly encourage you to create your own stuff if once you complete a track, that is. Cool.
yeah, I think there was one more question that I just wanted to cover quickly. Um, are the chapters updated every day in the tracks, or the list of chapters currently in there is final? So 2 chapters per track. So 2 chapters are just there to get you started. Once you start making submissions in each chapter and you complete all the mandatory assignments in each chapter, that's when the next chapter will unlock. So it's basically giving you time to complete a chapter and then only unlocking the next chapter for you. If you unlock all the chapters, usually people get overwhelmed and then they're not able to make progress, right? So hopefully that makes sense. 2 chapters is just the tip of the iceberg. It's just getting you started. Those are not the complete list. Each track has, I think minimum is like 8 to 9 chapters. And
Yep.
then the highest one is like 13 or 14 chapters. So each track has different chapters, but then, you keep getting new ones, the more you finish the current ones. So just try to keep up with the pace in that sense. Yeah.
Yep. And just to give you guys context over here, this is where you will be finding the study material. So for track 1, for example, you'll find this link. In here, there should be everything related to uh, the track 1, chapter 0, chapter 1. So you'll see that submission links that are blurred, you don't need to submit anything for those. The ones that are clickable are mandatory, and we've also marked it over here in order to give you an idea of what submissions we expect from you when you actually start going through the program. So you can find links for each one of the tracks over here, and you'll see that each track has a separate link, and each track will probably have a chapter 0, chapter 1 to get you started.
Yep. Mayur is asking what exactly is full stack game development program. So I'll just answer this in like 1 minute version of it, but then we can talk more about it in the Q&A part. Basically, full stack game development program is a 7-month long program to get anybody ready to become a professional game developer and get them jobs in the industry as well. So we have done this for the last 3.5 years now, where we have developers working in every top major game studio that you guys can think of, from Ubisoft to GSN to early stage startups whose funding round announcements you might have seen, from MPL to Encore Games, etc. as well. So we partner with 100 plus game studios to help them hire talent. And a lot of the talent that they hire is from our full stack game development program. So this program is definitely not 2 weeks long. It's 7 months long, and has, a lot more to offer in terms of learning how to build games professionally. We can talk more specifics about that in the Q&A section for those who might be curious about it. But essentially, since there was a question from you regarding it, I just wanted to cover it briefly. And the idea there is that once people have explored Launchpad, they have understood whether they want to turn this into a career. Do they like it enough, right? Do they find meaningful building games day in, day out, right? And they want to make this as a profession and a career. That's when full stack game development program comes in. But just a last TLDR here is that you have to complete one track in order to qualify for full stack. If you do not put in the effort to complete even one track, no matter what you do, we will not accept your admission for full stack. That's the bottom line. So at the end of the day, full stack is a very exclusive program. It only takes in hardly 15 students maximum at a time. And we are going to do high quality work, and not a lot of quantity. Yeah. Good. Awesome. Cool. Did I miss any other questions, Panas?
No, there is a question again related to full stack that we can pick up later on as well.
Okay, got it. Awesome. Good. So I think we have a little bit of a short 2-3 minute fun game planned out.
Yep. There is just one new question. Unlocking the chapters is automated or it's manual from your backend? It's automated basically. So you can do the assignments in the night as well, and our system should send you the link.
Yeah. So if you're working on your assignments at 2 a.m. in the morning, you should get within 5 minutes the email to say that congratulations, you have completed that chapter, and you should have the link for the next chapter to get started. You don't have to wait for somebody manually to do it. Yep.
Cool. Okay. Full stack questions, again, we'll address those in the Q&A. Right now, I just want to take a breather for a sec, because there's a lot of information that we dumped on you, right? So just to take a 2-minute detour, I just wanted to play a quick fun game so that I can bring everyone to the screen, bring everyone's attention back. Just again, similar to what I did last time, there's going to be uh, simple questions. I expect you to drop the answers. These are more trivia game day questions just to see how closely you follow the game dev scene, right? So first one, simply put, is which popular FPS game was originally built as a Half-Life mod?
CSGO, Garry's mod.
Okay.
As a Half-Life mod. I think, Manas, do you want to quickly repeat the questions?
Yeah. So which popular FPS game actually began as a Half-Life mod? IGI, okay. CS Classic, 1.6 Source, okay. Does anybody know why it's called Source? Nice. Okay. Okay. So these guys know different engines outside of Unity and Unreal as well. So that's good to see. Cool. Outside of that,
what?
Yep.
Well, just share the answer for everybody, because I saw a lot of diverse questions.
Yeah.
Diverse answers.
Yeah. It's obvious. It's Counter-Strike 1.6 to be precise. It actually began as a simple Half-Life mod. So you'll see all of the controls are actually pretty much the same. They only added the new map design and multiplayer aspect to it, plus the TCT angle to it. So the shooting mechanics were largely the same. Cool. Next one is, which game protagonist has a barcode on the back of their head? Okay, nice. This one was an easy one. Not I just put it so that people get an idea. Like there has to be low hanging fruits as well, right?
Yeah, a lot of people got this one correct. So Hitman Agent 47. Yeah. No brainer. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome.
This one is, which zombie game is getting its own TV show? This one is very, very open-ended. There's no one answer to it. Resident Evil. Resident Evil has its own show. Last of Us. Yes, Last of Us is getting its own show. Walking Dead already has its own show.
Wait, Walking Dead has multiple things going for that franchise. Yeah,
Project Z, Death of Trigger. Okay, I have not heard of this game. What's this game? Death of Trigger.
we'll have to figure it out after the call.
Nice. Cool. And next one. Okay, this one is more uh, generic. This might not be a game you play, but you might know people who play this game a lot. So, which mobile game? Basically, it's a puzzle game. Is one of the highest grossing mobile games of all time. Basic hint would be your parents love it. You might have seen your parents play it at some point of time. Okay, Candy Crush, Ludo, Tetris. Oh, Tetris is the highest
Sudoku.
selling game of all time, not the highest grossing. Sudoku,
Sudoku. 2048. Snake game in Nokia. Lol.
Candy Crush. Nice. Candy Crush is the obvious answer. I think all of us or either our parents have played that game at least once. I know my mom and dad are addicted to it. I'm trying to figure out why, but they are for some reason. Okay. I guess that's basically it. We can continue on and let's keep
Yep.
moving. So I'll just give you, there was a question as to how the mentor sessions are structured. I'll give you guys an overview of how these mentor sessions are working, right? Tell the answer for the zombie TV show question. The zombie TV show, like it's very open-ended, like I said.
There are
Yes,
multiple answers.
yes. So I'll just give you an overview of how the mentor sessions are structured and what we'll be discussing. So like I said, in the homepage, you'll find this section called Launchpad schedule. So just to be clear, these mentor sessions will not be me simply spoon feeding you answers to problems, right? This is going to be real life game problems that we'll be tackling. So games that we just discussed, right? Your CS, Counter Strikes, your Candy Crush, Last of Us. These games will be trying to figure out how certain systems were implemented inside these games and how they are actually maybe working under the hoods, or how you would go about tackling these problems if you were to create such systems in your games. So you'll see that today is the off 4th of July. Tomorrow we'll be discussing how to build a successful career in games. Then we'll be moving on to more generic questions you might have regarding game development, right? So why does PUBG lag on my phone, for example? Then we might bring in, we have an industry expert who will be joining us uh, and giving us tips on how to crack interviews at like big companies. Uh, all these different questions that you might have encountered or you should be asking, right, when you're playing a game is what we'll be tackling. So you'll be asked to come into the mentor sessions. I will not be spoon feeding answers to you. Like I said, we'll discuss everything together and we'll try to figure out the best solution together on the call itself. These sessions, like I said, will be there from 8 to 9. After that, if you guys have any questions, doubts regarding your track submissions, etc., you can ask those after 9. And I'll be there in order to get your doubts solved about the track submissions and everything. So every day we'll be tackling a different problem and a different topic on how we'll be approaching that problem. So you'll find all the details and all the questions that we'll be answering over here as well. So for every day from 8 to 9, I'll simply introduce this topic and we'll just start from scratch. If I were to implement, say, 3000 levels, like I say, I'll simply put out that question to everyone. We'll start from the basics on the ideas that you give me, and we'll keep building on top of it as we go along.
Yep. Again, this is something how work really happens in the industry as well. And the idea here is to give you guys exposure to what really happens at a professional level when it comes to building games, right? So once you are in the industry, nobody's going to be spoon feeding you how to implement your solutions to, say, if you're asked to implement a level unlocking system, or if you're asked to implement an achievement system, or if you're asked to implement a weapon equipment system where you can go to a screen and equip different weapons on your characters and all, right? You'll be just presented with these problem statement and asked to come up with the first draft of a solution. What and how would you go about implementing it? Get that reviewed from your mentors and seniors within your team, and then start working on the implementation and get that implementation again reviewed again, right? So these sessions are a way of simulating that same behavior where Manas and I would be leading you through the conversations in different sessions, and you guys collaboratively work together to come up with solutions, discuss different pros and cons of different approaches, and so on and so forth. So specifically tomorrow, we'll be talking about careers in games, right? So tomorrow's sessions will heavily focus on giving you guys a little bit overview about what kind of career opportunities exist in the industry. A lot of people don't conceptually understand differences between game programming, game art, game design, product building, marketing, acquisition. Maybe if some of you might be excited about starting your own game companies down the road as well, right? So what does a founder who's starting a game company would be expected to do? All those kind of broad career related topics we'll be talking about tomorrow as well. So this will be a good way for you to get an overview about what different aspects are covered in the industry. Yep. Cool. I don't see any questions right now. So what we will do is we'll quickly jump into the next point. So I think the only last piece that's left, let me know if you guys can see my screen, is that how do you access? So we mentioned earlier that the sessions will be recorded, right? So as you can see on my screen, there is a dedicated page given under the main homepage itself for recordings. So this is like a dummy link right now. And after we finish today's session, the recording will show up usually in about 30 to 45 minutes. Once it gets uploaded to YouTube and gets processed by the YouTube algorithm, then the recording will show up here as well. So if the session is ending at say 9:30 today, you can expect by 10:30 p.m. the recording is available to you, right? So you can come to this page anytime and have access to all the recordings, right? So right now you'll see each session date and the recording right next to it. So it should be fairly self-explanatory. Yep. Just to be clear, you can directly go to the homepage, the link that's been shared, and directly access mentor session recordings from here. Okay. Hopefully there's no confusion here. Cool. There are some questions. Once, can you just pick them up once? Let me share something else meanwhile.
Yep. So can you please brief a little more about game development company owner? Okay. We'll probably try to get an owner or a founder who has created their own company to help you answer that question, to be honest. We'll bring them over on a session and we'll probably be asking them directly how they actually started their game dev journey. Is there a possibility, again, full stack will answer that in a bit. Are these links for Discord or Google, as Google says it can't find Launchpad 5 outscale? I'm not able to understand your question. Which link are you talking about, Paul? Can you please elaborate? Is it will be there in these sessions, Webber? At least one of us will always be there in these sessions.
Yeah, perfect. So this is one of the last pieces that we cover as part of Launchpad. Let me share a link in the chat here. So this is kind of a ritual we follow. Every time we start a new clan for Launchpad, we generally, programmers usually know the concept of Hello World, right? So Hello World is literally the first program as a starting programmer you would write. So we usually have this ritual within Outscale of sharing a post for Hello Game World. It's just our way of sort of introducing a lot of members of the Outscale community to the rest of the world, that check out these passionate folks who are interested in exploring game development and are starting on their journey to build games, whether it's advanced level games or beginner level games, does not matter. So I've just shared the link in the chat. We'll circulate this link on the Discord private channel as well. But if you guys can go in, drop a hi, share a little bit about yourself. We have a big audience that follows us across LinkedIn, especially both Outscale and my account. So you'll get some visibility and get connected with other people as well. So you might see, 30, 40 comments on here tomorrow, and you can go and connect with other people in the industry as well, who are right now as part of this call and looking to, connect with sort of other folks as well. So you'll get access to connecting with other people within this call as well. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. We'll share this. Don't worry about this. If this link you don't get right now, we'll share it in Discord as well. Yep.
Yep. So feel free to like drop a comment as soon as possible so that you guys get an idea of what kind of audience is there. Maybe connect with more like-minded individuals over on LinkedIn as well, because trust me, we cannot emphasize enough how important LinkedIn is going to be in your game dev journey. Seen a lot of people not taking ownership of LinkedIn and actually building their network, and that's going to cause you problems because down the line the job offers will walk and come to you instead of you going and applying to those job offers, if you have used LinkedIn properly, that is. Cool.
Yep.
Question, if possible, can you please shed light on Web3 gaming and challenges? Okay, you want to take this?
Yep. We could cover this in the Q&A. So I think, like, if there are any core sort of Launchpad related questions as well, we can quickly pick them up. Otherwise, I just want to make sure that we are being respectful of everybody's time. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the session, we'll cap off the session at 60 minutes. And after that, people can stay back for the Q&A. So what now I'll request everybody to do is, one second. So perfect. So if you guys can, I just removed everyone's spotlight. If you guys can quickly open up your camera and unmute yourself. So this is a fun activity we do with all clan members. And it's been called Outscale Yoga. It's a small, simple activity to get everybody kind of excited about building games. So just pop open your camera, unmute yourself. I think I've given access to unmuting. Yeah,
Yep,
perfect.
yep.
Perfect. So unmute yourself, and hopefully we'll get some excitement going here as well. If you can't, don't worry. I would encourage you in Zoom, switch over to the gallery view so you can see other people as well. Don't worry. I understand it's COVID times. Everybody at home. There's going to be mess around. It's okay. We'll make more noise and we'll disturb other people. Okay. Other people won't disturb us. So awesome. So here's what I want everybody to do. I want everybody to put their hands up in the air in front of the camera. Okay. Right in front of the camera, pointing towards the screen, right? Yeah, perfect. So for those who might have not unmuted themselves, please do as well. Don't worry about background noise. It's okay. Okay, perfect. So you're all supposed to be becoming programmers, right? So you know how to move your fingers really fast and tight. Okay? So fingers really fast. Perfect. Okay. Piyush just said there's a lot of this background noise from somebody. Just maybe one person. Thank you. Okay, cool. So just move your fingers really fast. Now, here's what we're going to do. When I say 1, 2, 3, right? I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, go team. Okay, G-O, go, T-E-A-M, team. Okay, not goatee, right? I'm not talking about the fancy beard. People have misunderstood me for goatee. I'm saying team as in all of us, right? So every time when I say 1, 2, 3, everybody's going to raise their hand up in the air and then scream, go team. Okay, good. Yes, perfect. All right, let's do it. All right, fingers really fast, up in the air. Yeah. All right, 1, 2, 3, go team.
Go team.
Awesome. It was a little bit disjointed. I can see like people lagging maybe a little bit. But awesome. So hopefully you guys had a fun session, got to learn a little bit. We've covered all the core essence of what Launchpad is, how we do game development, what you can expect in the next sort of 14 days, 2 weeks with Outscale in this program, and explore game development as well. Let me just mute all for yeah, perfect. So like we've covered all the core things. So in case you have other prior commitments such as work, dinner, office meetings or something, feel free to jump off. If you have questions you want to chat about, ask questions, Manas and I, Piyush is also from the Outscale team. We'll be hanging out for another at least 30 to 45 minutes easily to answer questions regarding the industry, about Outscale, about Launchpad, about full stack game development program, about Web3, all kind of questions that you might want to ask. We'll be happy to take this up, right? So feel free to jump off now if you have some work commitment. Otherwise, stay back, hang out with the rest of the folks here, get to learn a little bit more as well. All right.